Hello, my dear friends. Your UPSC mentors have started a free initiative for you, the Free Ethics Mentorship Program. In this program, we are going to give you some practice questions and then we will discuss what should have been the approach in answering this question, how to deconstruct a question and divide it into a template so that you can use that template whenever you are short of time in your actual paper. So the similar thing we are trying to do here. I have given you a quote by Mahatma Gandhi. This question is from the 2023 paper. It is a quote based question, and the examiner wants us to know, to explain that what this quote means to us. So the quote was, "The simplest act of kindness are by far more powerful than thousand heads bowing in prayer," says Mahatma Gandhi. There are hundreds of such quotes out there. UPSC might ask any quote. So whenever you see a quote like this, try to first get into the core meaning of that quote, what the quote is emphasizing on. It is important because we might differ in the points that we give in the answer, but we must not differ in the interpretation that we take of the quote. That's why you should spend a much more time in deconstructing the essence of the quote than writing the answer, because if you do not understand the real meaning of the quote, the answer will go in different direction, which will ultimately fetch you some very poor marks. So here I'm going to teach you how we are going to deconstruct such topics. First of all, let's discuss the answer. So what I did here, I first tried to get into the core meaning of that quote. The quote emphasizes on the profound impact of small, genuine acts of compassion over mere ceremonial or ritualistic gestures. So Gandhiji says that the simplest act, the smallest act, or the most genuine acts of compassion, however small they are far better than ceremonial or ritualistic gestures which might be addressing a larger population. So, in the first line, we have explained this. Now, we are transitioning to the body of the question. So, now let's say in today's world, this message resonates deeply and can be understood in various contexts. Now, what would be this context? Whenever you are deciphering the meaning of this quote, some points might be hitting in your head. कुछ पॉइंट्स आपके दिमाग में आ रहे होंगे, which might be from economy, polity, administration, international affair, maybe history. So multiple points might be popping in your head. Try to divide those points into different heads, like from administrative angle, from political angle, so that you can put relevant example under those key themes. So I have identified few contexts. First is that Gandhiji's quote is relevant in terms of practical compassion over symbolic gestures. He is emphasizing on action over rituals. In contemporary society, we often see that people are involved in symbolic gestures like sharing social media posts about issues, participating in public demonstration, wishing each other good morning, good night, and happy birthday, anniversary, etc. On the social media. But whenever they encounter the person in person, they meet the person face to face, they are not giving adequate importance to that person. So we need action over rituals. Gandhiji is saying this. So whenever we are doing symbolic gestures like social media sharing, participating in public demonstration, what we are doing is we are doing some actions which raise awareness, but these might not always translate into tangible help. So that's why this quote reminds us of the direct actions like helping a neighbor, volunteering, donating to those in need have a more immediate and significant impact. Then we can talk about the real world impact of this. During the COVID-19 pandemic, practical acts of kindness such as distributing food to the needy, supporting local businesses, and checking in on elderly neighbors had more immediate and profound effect than merely expressing solidarity through online platforms. Merely expressing solidarity versus checking in, supporting someone in need, these two are different things. So real world impact should be there of our actions. Then we can talk about individual responsibility. So I was thinking about individual responsibility when I heard this, that personal agency. Sometimes in a world where people might feel overwhelmed by this scale of global issues like climate change, poverty, inequality, Gandhiji's words encourage us to focus on what we can do at personal level. At personal level, the smallest act might have a compound effect over a large period of time, over a longer period of time. All people personally cutting down on emissions. Let's say you are not using your personal vehicle, you are using public vehicles. So it can have a profound impact, small act, but it can have profound impact. Mission lifestyle of the government of India, lifestyle for environment. You can also write that. Empowering the marginalized, mentoring underprivileged students, advocating for fair treatment, supporting minority owned businesses, etc., can be very important, smallest but yet profound acts of compassion. Building a compassionate society, community building, right? From the fragmented society, like for the transgender community, if you are working, it can have profound impact. SHGs, self help groups, right? Mental health and well being. Practicing kindness can improve both givers and receivers' emotional state. You know this? And creating a healthy overall society. Smallest acts of compassion. Then ethical leadership and integrity. Leadership by example. There are leaders who prioritize kindness and actions that can inspire others more effectively than merely preaching values. For example, Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. During the food crisis in India, he himself practiced that he and his family only ate for only ate one meal a day. They also fasted. They did not just preach the nation. He did farming in his backyard. That was leadership by example. Smallest act. Corporate responsibility. You must have heard about Tata groups, that the employees who died, they are taking care of the educational support and other support of those deceased employees. In conclusion, you can say that this quotation, now this is a template that we are going to discuss, that quotation remains profoundly relevant today, urging us to prioritize genuine, compassionate action over mere rituals and symbolic gestures. So now we are giving an essence of it. It serves as a call to harness the power of kindness in addressing contemporary challenges, fostering individual empowerment, community cohesion. Now we are using keywords like this, which are important for fetching good marks: community cohesion and ethical leadership. By embracing this philosophy, we can contribute to creating a more compassionate and just world where the impact of our action speaks louder than words or rituals. So, what is the template that I used in answering this question? This was the template, and you can use such templates in your own quotations. We will deliver such templates for other questions of the syllabus also, but let us now keep it to the quotation wala part. Firstly, I understood the quotation. I thoroughly interpreted the quotation that okay, the simplest act of kindness are by far the most powerful than thousand heads bowing in the prayer. So this means that the core message is that Gandhiji is intending is focusing on the value of practical, compassionate action over symbolic or ritualistic gestures. So now I've understood the quotation. Now let me contextualize the quotation. What does contextualization means? The present day context, its relevance to the contemporary issues and societal dynamics, where it is particularly relevant. Then identifying the key themes. So according to the main ideas that aroused in my head, I broke down the main ideas into specific themes like practical compassion, individual responsibility and empowerment, breaking us, building a social compassionate society, ethical leadership, and integrity. And now I'm giving a specific illustration for all these points. So if you are short, let's say you only have 12 to 15 minutes to answer three code based questions. Now, what you can do? You can just draw a flow chart, key themes like practical compassion, individual responsibility. Okay, so you can draw a diagram like this and you can directly mention the examples. If you are short of time, you can mention the examples here, that individual responsibility, life mission, public vehicle over private ones. If you're short of time, you can do this, but if you have time, you can elaborate in a sentence or two. Then what I did, I gave concrete examples that I've told you. Examples are a must. Identifying key themes and giving examples are a must. Examples are a must. And before identify key theme, the core message, deconstructing the core message is also a must. Then you can conclude. So if I summarize my approach, now I'm offering the summary ka bhi summary. The interpretation has to be done, contextualization has to be done, thematic breakdown, examples, and conclusion. So if you follow this structured approach, it will ensure that answer is comprehensive, relevant, and clearly illustrates how a particular quote asked by UPSC applies to the modern society, because they will always ask you to focus on application. Now we had given this question for today. Please join the session at 6 p.m. live session at our Telegram group channel, UPSC Mentors, and try to apply this template on this question. This template alone will help you in getting 60 to 70% mark in quote based question, because it will be a very structured answer. So try to answer this. Let's meet at 6 p.m. today on the group. Thank you.